Throughout history, we've seen many great leaders inspire hope for their people and nations. However, not all who have held positions of power have acted with the best interest of their people in mind. In fact, some of the most devastating and dark moments in human history can be traced back to the decisions made by those in charge. History is filled with men and women who showed little to no regard for human life, acting instead from a position of pure self-interest or worse. In today's video, we are going to look at some of the worst dictators and rulers in world history, exploring what made them so bad and how they left their mark on the world. Before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Also, if you learn best by seeing the visuals, check out our full video available on another platform. Links to that will be provided below. And now let's begin. Adolf Hitler, the leader of the Nazi Party in Germany during World War II, is perhaps one of the most infamous figures in history. Hitler's ideology was based on extreme nationalism, racism, and anti-Semitism, which led him to initiate a series of horrific atrocities against Jews, Roma, gay people, disabled people, and other groups deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime. He was responsible for the deaths of millions of people during the Holocaust. The systematic state-sponsored persecution and murder of Jews across German-occupied Europe. Hitler's actions had a profound impact on the course of the 20th century, leaving a legacy of hatred, violence, and destruction that continues to be felt today. His rise to power serves as a warning of the dangers of unchecked nationalism, racism, and the abuse of power. Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union from the mid-1920s until his death in 1953, was another notorious dictator. Stalin's regime was characterized by totalitarian control, forced industrialization, and the suppression of any opposition to his rule. He ruled the Soviet Union with an iron fist, using secret police to arrest and execute or imprison without trial millions of his own people. Stalin's policies led to the deaths of millions of Soviet citizens through forced labor, starvation, and executions. His regime was responsible for the creation of the Gulag Archipelago, a vast network of forced labor camps where prisoners were subjected to hard labor, torture, and often executed. Despite the horrific nature of his regime, Stalin is still revered as a hero by some for his role in the victory over Nazi Germany in World War II and for his contributions to the development of the Soviet Union as a superpower. Mao Zedong, the founder of the People's Republic of China in 1949, was another influential leader who had a significant impact on the course of the 20th century. Mao's ideology of communism and his policies aimed at rapid industrialization and collectivization of agriculture led to widespread famine and chaos in China. An estimated 55 million people died of starvation during the Great Leap Forward, a 5-year plan that aimed to transform China into a socialist society. Despite the disastrous consequences of his policies, Mao remains a controversial figure in Chinese politics, and his legacy continues to be debated. Some argue that he was a heroic leader who brought China together after years of conflict and oppression, while others criticize him for the immense suffering and loss of life that occurred under his rule. Francisco Franco, the Spanish general who led a military coup in 1936 that led to the Spanish Civil War, was another prominent dictator. Franco's regime was characterized by the suppression of political opposition, censorship, and the persecution of those who opposed his rule. He ruled Spain with an iron fist, executing thousands of his opponents and maintaining a climate of fear and repression throughout the country. Franco's regime lasted for almost 4 decades, ending in 1975 when he died. During his rule, Spain experienced a period of economic growth and stability, but at the expense of civil liberties and human rights. Franco's legacy remains controversial in Spain, with some viewing him as a dictator who crushed any opposition to his rule and others seeing him as a strong leader who brought stability to the country after a period of civil war and instability. The Kim dynasty, which has ruled North Korea since its founding in 1948, is known for its totalitarian control and oppressive regime. The dynasty, which consists of 3 generations of leaders, Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and the current leader Kim Jong-un, has maintained a climate of fear and paranoia in the country, using a network of spies and informants to monitor the population and suppress any dissent. North Korea is one of the most secretive countries in the world, with very limited information available to the public about its government and society. The Kim dynasty has carefully cultivated an image of North Korea as a powerful and self-sufficient state, while in reality the country is heavily reliant on foreign aid and suffers from widespread poverty and malnutrition. The regime's focus on military strengths rather than the welfare of its people has led to international condemnation and sanctions. Despite the international pressure, the Kim dynasty has remained in power, and North Korea continues to be one of the most isolated and secretive countries in the world. Idi Amin, the Ugandan military officer who seized power in a coup in 1971 and ruled until 1979, was known for his brutal and erratic rule. Amin's regime was characterized by gross human rights abuses, including torture, extrajudicial killings, and the expulsion of thousands of Asians from Uganda. He was known for his bizarre behavior, including hosting lavish parties for foreign dignitaries and claiming to be the King of Scotland. Amin's regime was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Ugandans. He was eventually overthrown in 1979 by a group of Tanzanian and Ugandan exiles. Saddam Hussein, the Iraqi dictator who ruled from 1979 to 2003, was another notorious ruler. Saddam's regime was characterized by the suppression of opposition, human rights abuses, and the use of chemical weapons against Kurdish and Shia populations. He was responsible for the deaths of thousands of Iraqi citizens, as well as the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Iranians during the Iran-Iraq War. Saddam's regime was also responsible for the invasion of Kuwait in 1990, which led to the Gulf War. He was eventually overthrown in 2003 by a US-led invasion and was executed in 2006. King Leopold II of Belgium, who ruled over the Congo from 1865 to 1909, was a controversial figure. Leopold's regime was characterized by the exploitation of the Congo's natural resources and the brutal treatment of the native population. He oversaw a system of forced labor and massacres that resulted in the deaths of millions of Congolese people. Despite the atrocities committed under his rule, Leopold is still revered by some as a great monarch and the father of modern Belgium. These are just a few examples of the many rulers throughout history who have acted in ways that are considered bad or evil. It's important to remember that these individuals are not simply figures from the past, but rather cautionary tales for the present and future. Their actions serve as a reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of holding those in power accountable. By learning from the mistakes of the past, we can work towards creating a better future and ensuring that such atrocities are never repeated. So what do you think? Are there any other historical rulers that you believe could have made it on this list? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching.